It's dinner party time, and what better than a standing rib roast of beef. This has been sitting at room temperature for a couple of hours. You want to get it out of the fridge and get that meat as close to room temperature as possible so that your meat cooks evenly. The next thing I'm going to do is just roughly chop some rosemary. Rosemary and beef, as with lamb, is always a lovely combination. Now all I'm going to do is give it a lovely rub, hopefully it thinks it's lovely, with oil, rubbing some rosemary in there as well. Got some sea salt and a good grind of pepper. Now while that could go into the oven, completely as is on a high heat and then reduce it down after a while, I'm going to brown it in the pan first. I love it when my meat gets a really good crust on it. And then let's get that in here. Almost looks like I'm cooking a dinosaur, but I'm not. Don't rush this part. Make sure, as I said, that the heat's high and leave it to sit until you know that you're going to get some good browning happening. That'll take a couple of minutes, but once that's done, it's into the oven and you won't have to think about it. Now I've got a feeling that the meat underneath is going to be nice and brown, so I'm going to turn it over. Hands are the best thing to do, or to use. Look at the size of it. You're not going to turn it with anything else. So let's just turn it over with this. There's a bit of twisting going on here. We're just going to now turn it round, because we want every side to be really well browned. I'm hoping there's enough heat now has got into the bridge. It's looking nicely browned, apart from these ribs here. And that's not going to matter too much because they'll cook up in the oven. Sit it like this into the pan. Basically you want that heat to get under there to the bridge to get that really cooked, and the rest of it medium rare is how I like it anyway. You don't need any oil, you don't need anything, because there's lots of marbled fat through there that's going to melt away during cooking. It'll be perfectly delicious. Right, into the oven. It is set at 180 and I've got it on roast function. These very flash ovens, the new generation 2 from Fisher & Paykel, have a roast function. So basically the oven knows that I'm roasting, so it puts some moisture into the oven so the meat doesn't dry out. We love modern technology. And of course it won the Red Dot Award for excellence. There we are. Now I'm going to leave that for about an hour. Once that time's up, I'm going to come back and check. I'm going to use a meat thermometer, not guesswork. Once it gets to about 60 to 65 degrees, I know I've got perfectly medium rare meat. Righto, this is now at 62 degrees, which is close enough to 65 for my liking, so I'm going to take the meat out and let it rest. As you can see, I've got the potatoes in the oven as well, and with this fabulous new generation 2 oven, we've actually got room for pudding as well. Pack it all in there. So, take that out, don't need that anymore. Cover it with foil, just to keep it warm, and we're going to let it rest for a good 15 minutes before we carve it. Asparagus goes lovely with beef, but no surprises there because asparagus is lovely with just about everything. The potatoes are roasted, and now it's time to do the big reveal and just see how beautiful our meat is. Let's have a look. Now this is looking pretty perfect, even if I do say so. Look at that. Gorgeous. Okay, so we'll put that out here. Put this one beside it so everyone knows what they're getting. Some potatoes. Now all I need is some béarnaise sauce and a nice glass of Merlot. And you can find that recipe on foodlovers.co.nz.